Shalom, 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 shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak, Wadash. Double honors to my elders, my apostles of Great Millstone, which are the men that rule well and taught us His truth. Peace, blessings, and salutations as always be to the elect. And Lord's will, the title will be more and more distractions, man. Just real quick, man. Some real quick scriptures through the Spirit. Not that many. I got a few. Not that many, though. Just a quick, quick exhortation and a quick warning, to stay locked in, man. Esau's coming out with his distractions, his enchantments. You got a lot of bread and circuses on an even higher level going on now. A lot of, celebrity boxing matches and things of that nature. A lot of foolishness. Now, all of a sudden, Trump talk about, releasing files on how there's, life outside of Earth. But we know that he's blasphemed the angels, so that's exactly what he's doing. He's gonna release false info on the angels. He's gonna give you a little bit. He's giving you truth with some lies, a little bit of truth with the lies, and it's just more and more distractions, man. I mentioned the celebrity boxing. That's the bread and circuses. I swear it's like there's a boxing match just every other week, man. You know what I'm saying? Like these distractions are, on a higher level, and we gotta stay locked in. Because and now what's now the big, this is the thing, people are such sheep, man. They're told what to worry about. Now all of a sudden, Jake in America, everybody here at work is talking about, oh yeah, did you hear about what's going on in Mexico? Like that has anything. You should not be worried about Mexico. You should be worried about your country, America. So like you had to open my water, but Salakia, throw a little dry, but people worried about Mexico, right? Talking about pray for Mexico, man. You better get on point, because America's downward spiraling, man. Economy not getting any better. You got more wars and rumors of wars, like the scriptures say it would happen, and that's exactly what is happening out in the Middle East right now. All right, America messing with Cuba even more now. All these different things happening. What are people worried about? Mike Tyson's next fight. You know what I'm saying? His old ass. Worried about Mexico and El Mencho and the cartel. Man, more and more distractions. Proverbs 22:3. A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. So, a man of wisdom, a learned man, foresees the evil. We could see past. Hey, the scriptures say, right, about the eye salve. We have the eye salve to be able to see. We could see through the darkness. Most importantly, we could see the scriptures, right? We could read the scriptures and know what's up ahead. That's what really makes us prudent, all right? And it says, foreseeth the evil. We can foresee the evil. Hey, look, Jacob's trouble is still coming. It don't matter that your favorite celebrity is about to fight your favorite Hall of Fame boxer. That doesn't matter. What matters is the fact that Jacob's trouble is coming, and are you prepared for it? Are you on Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai's good side? These are the things that you're supposed to be worried about. It says, and hideth himself. We hide ourselves under the shadow of the Almighty. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Okay? And these distractions, man, they are successfully, are distracting the people. All right? Everybody just talking about nonsense, man. People talking about, boxing matches and all this, trash ass bunch of nothing, man. Social media shit going on. Nobody worried about that shit, man. You got, the UFO talk again. You know what I'm saying? All these different distractions. Now the files are out. People talking about that. You know what I'm saying? But what? We have to stay on alert, man. Salaki, I'm trying to adjust myself real quick. But, hey, we got to stay on alert. I'm going to read it again. I'm going to read Proverbs 22:3 again in the NLT. And it says, a prudent person foresees danger and takes precautions. Right? We're not going to allow these enchantments to distract us. All right? We're not going to allow these bread and circuses to keep us from our goal, which is salvation. We're not going to allow Esau to trick us. All right? Because what is he going to do? He's going to do all these different things. Before you know it, we're in another lockdown. All right. And this time, though, You know, he don't want to give you the jab. He want to give you the C-hip. You know what I'm saying? Those are the times that we're heading into, man. Don't let this devil, you know, he's showing you one side. He's showing you one hand, and with the other, he's you know, trying to jab you up. You know what I'm saying? It says, the simpleton goes blindly on and suffers the consequences. So, while you're partaking in all those distractions of his, and he's tricking you, and, you know, you're partaking in the bread and circuses. I mean, shit, man. A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, right? Like, you gotta understand what the will of the Lord is, man. You gotta understand what times we're in. I made a video about that last night, man. About how, you know, I made it on the topic of making sure you're not, you know, doing too much in your daily life outside of the truth. But one thing I kept mentioning was the fact that you got to know what times we're in, because we're not living in times of peace. We're at a time of war right now. We're at a time where, you know, if you partake in too much in worldly activities, you're liable to fall within judgment. You know, I know for me recently, you know, I had made some plans that I rescheduled because I realized spring break is coming up, and if I go out of town, and mind you, I'm not doing, not to say you're going off for enjoying your time, but, you know, I'm not the type to go out of town for spring break. I don't, you know, I just work for a living. I don't, you know, go to beaches and shit like that. But I realized that something that I wanted to do personally, all right, if I go and do that thing, I'm going to be in the midst of a bunch of niggas, man. You know what I'm saying? So I just rescheduled. I said, hell no, man. There's going to be too many Jake out there where I want to go, and I'm not going to visit right now. I'll just go later during the year, Lord willing. You know, that was me using my prudence. That was an example of it. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, Jake buck wild, man. You can't go to no major city during spring break because Jake go and ruin everything. Next thing you know, you trying to just be normal with your family, trying to just chill, you know, and then, you know, these niggas is out shooting, drinking, fighting and shit, you know? It says the simpleton goes blindly and suffers the consequences, right? So, you know, the simpleton meaning a person who's dumb. So, I mean, no, Salaki, a person who's stupid, right? Because dumb means not to speak. You know, a person who is foolish. They're going to completely ignore the red flags and just go and be taken out of the way. You know what I'm saying? All right, so Ephesians 5:14 says, I can't believe I left the space. It says, left the space there. Where Ephesians 5:14, wherefore he saith, awake thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and Yahushua shall give thee light. Right? So awake. You know, don't blindly just, you know, everything that Esau is doing, right, in front of you. You have to remember behind the scenes, that is where the true enchantments, man, are going on, where the true evil is gonna come from. You know? Wait, man, don't worry about the nigga talking to you on TV, man. That's not, you need to be worried about what they're doing behind the scenes. For example, COVID. Before it happened, there was people on the TV screen talking mess about China and all this stuff. But what happened behind the scenes? You didn't even see it. You didn't even see it. One day out of the blue, you just go to work and no, only essential workers can leave the house. Oh, no, you got to check your temperature for coming in. You got to get tested. Oh, the vax is out. Oh, you got to get that before you come back to work. Overnight, man. And the one that's coming up next is going to be worse. You might not ever be able to leave your home. You know? Martial law. These different things is going to happen. It says, see then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise. Right? Meaning use your prudence, man. A prudent man foreseeth the evil. You know? Be not as fools, man, but as wise. Redeeming the time because the days are evil. Buy back the time. Hey, the days are evil. We're not living in regular times anymore. Well, we never really were. But how much more now in 2026, man? You shitting me? You know, it's a year of bug outs, agents. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we got to be careful, man. You know, there's a lot. And then even before 2026 came in, agent provocateur is already coming out the woodwork. Like that one light-skinned dude. I forgot his name. I keep forgetting he has a weird name, man. Keep forgetting his name. Now he talking about, oh, if an ICE agent touched me, I'll put a hole that's just the size of a window. Shut your ass up. That nigga look like he got soft hands to me, man. In my opinion, you know, he don't really. I feel like my hands is rougher than his, man. Meaning, I feel like he ain't really about what he's saying doing. You know, He ain't really about that life, man. He don't really look like that type, man. He a little too clean cut. Talking about he gonna put a hole in their chest, you know. You're threatening federal agents because these are still, at the end of the day, they're still federal agents, and you're saying you're gonna murder a federal agent, right? And you're just free and you're not being investigated. That's fishy, you know. But these are the things that we have to notice. We have to notice when the enchantments are there. You know, you have to realize, like, yo, something ain't right about dude, man. You can't just be like, oh yeah, man, power to the people. No, man, that guy is clearly an agent provocateur, and if he's not hired by Esau to do it, all right, he's a agent provocateur from Satan. All right. Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is. Right, you have to understand the will of the Lord is not for this place to continue. All right, the will of the Lord is for this place to be hit with thermonuclear destruction, man. And before that, there's events that has to take place. Jacob's trouble, the micro sea hip, you know. Hey, the famine of the word. It looks like that's the next one, man. Because more and more is freedom of speech becoming obsolete. I brought it out at camp. It was on the New York Times where people who are what word did they use? Salakia. It slips my mind. But people who are basically talking about ICE in a negative manner. What word criticizing. People who are criticizing ICE. Now, their videos are going to start being taken down. You're going to end up on a watch list. I mean, come on, man. At some point in time, because Israel owns this place. And when I say Israel, the state of Israel, right? Israel owns America. At some point in time, they're going to make it legislation, if it's not already, to where if you talk about the JOOs, you're on a watch list, which really, they already have done that. I feel like they just haven't made it legislative, just yet. But I feel like they've already done that. We were already on a watch list. Especially the Hebrew Israelites. We're enemy number one to these guys, right? Because we know the truth. So, that's the time frame, man, that we in, man. That's a season that we're in. We're a season of brothers we on watch lists, man. Hey, the Shatar Ganan was going into it at camp when we was camping out at the main camp. He was like, bro, one day, you know how you get up, go to camp, and you already think about what you're gonna eat after camp. One day you're going to just be on your way to that restaurant and the boys going to show up. Next thing you know, you in a prison. Maximum security because you're public enemy number one. Those things are going to happen. That's going to be a reality at some point, right? So we can't allow these distractions, all right, to get in our pathway, man, to distract us from the what's really going on, right? But you have to understand, man, that, hey, the will of the Lord is for this place to go down, right? So we have to understand we're not living in times to just live it up. We're living in times where we can't let these enchantments distract us, man. Hey, 2 Peter 3:11, seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness, right? So that now that we know all these things are going to be dissolved, what type of what way should we be behaving, right? It says we should be in all holy conversation and godliness, right? Looking for and hastening unto the coming of the day of the Most High, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Right? Because we know that, hey, we're hastening for that, man. We want to dwell in the new heavens, man. Right? Which are renewed heavens. This one, not the next day, not the spirit realm. This one. It says, nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness. Because we know that's what's coming up. That's the will of the Lord. All right? So we can't allow what's going on to distract us from the task at hand. We can't allow these enchantments to hey, man, we got to look past that shit. We have to be on point. All right? Hey, more and more distractions, man. We got to use our prudence in these times, man. All right? Don't be out and about. I know, hey, so I mentioned it earlier, spring break coming up, man. Don't be out and about going crazy. Now, you never know, man. These crowds of people could be taken out soon, man. The scriptures speak about how many shall be taken in great numbers, so we have to use our prudence. We can't let these distractions fool us. But hey, that's all I wanted to bring out real quick, dude. Spirit, man. I want to give all praises going on to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rachakadash, double honors unto my elders and apostles, great millstone, mature the men that rule well, taught us his truth, peace, blessings, and salutations to the elect as always. Shalom.